What's up, guys? JayzTwoCents here. We're just having a little fun today. I've not done a Q&A in like forever. And my favorite thing about Q&As is when I don't know what the questions are. And nothing sucks more than go through and curate your own questions. And then, so that's why I've got two other people here, Phil and Nick, who are gonna curate these for me. I have no idea
what's up.
I have no idea what's coming. So get ready. This video is sponsored by Micro Center and their custom PC builder. Use the custom PC builder to plan your next build, and when parts are added to your cart and in-store pickup is selected, you'll have the option for a Micro Center technician to fully build your PC for an extra fee. And if the order is placed at least 4 hours before closing, you can enjoy your new PC the very same day. Get the best prices and parts selection at any of Micro Center's 25 locations across the United States. And right now, new customers can get a free pair of wireless headphones while supplies last. In-store only, limit 1 per email. To see everything Micro Center has to offer and to learn more about this limited time free headphone giveaway, click the link in the description below. So if you guys want to be featured in another Q&A video, make sure you're following on Twitter. That's where all of these questions were asked. So with that, guys, go ahead and take it away.
Christopher Starshine asks, what is your favorite piece of hardware you worked with? Maybe not best performing or your recommendation, but your personal favorite. Something you had the most fun working with or just impressed you. Also, favorite operating system you used regularly. We don't need that one.
Operating system. My favorite piece of hardware was the one I used to make my kids. I mean, graphics cards are obviously the most fun to work with because they have the most impact of gaming performance in your system. Probably when the very first time I got to mess around with Titan cards, because they were always out of reach in terms of price, and I got NVIDIA to send me 3 of them. And now they hate me.
Danny does computers, which is pretty funny because this is part of a thread where somebody else asked the exact same question and they both were kind of like, wait, what? Oh, dude, yeah, actually.
Did we just become best friends?
They had that moment. At what moment in your content creation career did you start to realize you made it, so to speak?
I don't know. I don't know if I still even consider myself having made it. I exist in a space where I've been at this for nearly a decade, and I'm like, look, I've got 3.5 million, and there's like 15-year-old kids that have done this for 6 months, and they're about to hit 10 million. So it's like, I mean, I don't know what the metric of made it is, but I guess you technically have made it when you can live off only the thing you're doing. So I guess that 2015, 14? Somewhere around there, 15.
What's a good workout routine to match a weight loss diet that won't bulk you up, but focus more on a healthy heart and cardio?
Cardio for your heart. Even if you're lifting, you should always end every workout at least with 5 to 10 minutes of cardio. You've already maximized so lifting, a lot of people think, I don't want to get all bulky and buff and stuff. And it's like, no, building muscle burns fat. Fat fuels muscle. If you want to build muscle and burn fat, you do it at the same time. But then you should end every workout with cardio because your vascular system is already active at that point. Your heart's already pumping. You've already entered fat burning mode. When you come out of muscle build mode, you go into fat burning mode, and then 5 or 10 minutes of cardio will just extend how long you stay in that mode to continue to burn fat after your workout. Obviously, I'm not the most qualified person to talk about this, but I have lost 250 pounds, so I think I have something to say about that. But your diet is just as important, if not more important than your workout routine. Too many people emphasize what are the movements I can do to maximize my health. It's about properly fueling it too. Don't cut out all carbs, just have a sensible amount of carbs with your macros because carbs fuel your workout. The problem is people eat lots and lots of carbs and they don't move, therefore all those carbs turn into blubber, and that's the problem there.
This one's a little bit more of a, probably a longer answer, but what does a day in the life of JayzTwoCents look like? How do you balance your work, family life, your hobbies like guitar and cards so well? Thanks for being a huge inspiration to me, smiley face.
Just like I think many people born in the 80s, I think a lot of us in my age group are realizing now that like a lot of us went with very undiagnosed ADHD. And I am a creature of schedules and habits. So my routine is the same every day. The alarm clock goes off. I literally have the same exact routine every morning. It's like watching The Truman Show. It's just kind of annoying because you're just like, he does the same thing at the same time. You're like, what time is it? Oh, I know exactly where Jay is right now because of what time it is. But for me, that works. Because when I used to try and do the whole like, I'm just gonna do what I want as I feel like wanting to do it, I just kind of got lost. I was like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to do guitar. I wanted to play games. I wanted to drive my car. I wanted to wash my car, work on my car, hang out with my kids, hang out with my wife, ride the bike. And I did none of it because I was overwhelmed by all of it. So I literally have like okay, it's this night and this night I'm gonna play games. This night it's TV night. I practice my guitar every day. I even have one here at the studio now, that's gonna be here full time so I can practice with downtime at the studio. But as much as it might seem a little over-organized to literally have a schedule like that. It's what it took for me to finally be able to have time for everything. And sometimes I'll switch it around. I'll be like, okay, you know what? I don't really feel like playing games tonight, but I do want to play my guitar. I'll just hop on and play my guitar. So, but I think that's part of like the ADHD and stuff kind of working in my favor at that point.
Mr. Merplans asks, your biggest regret or mistake you've made since the launch of your channel?
Probably getting a little bit too involved in social media, honestly. I do a pretty good job at separating a lot of my personal life from my online life, and the problem with that is it leaves a lot of people open interpretation of the kind of person I am or the way I believe in certain things or my political views or whatever, and I'm very big on keeping that out. But I'm still very active on social media, which is, in my opinion, a very unhealthy thing. So I kind of wish I was able to kind of go back and not get so involved in being front and center outside of the channel, if that makes sense. I just like interacting with people. The problem is eventually you get enough people interacting with you that the assholes are there.
Hadid Sakraz asks, are you satisfied with what you've done from the past few years? And do you have anything you wish you would change?
No, I'm one of those people that believe you can always go back and say I should have this or I should have that, but I believe in the butterfly effect. Like I would never go back and change my past because they all led to where I am today and the kind of person I am, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with my mistakes I've made. I'm okay with where I'm at. The fact that I've missed opportunities because I was unwilling to sacrifice either scruples or morals or whatever, and I'm okay with that. I'm not unhappy with anything, honestly. You don't know the truth. I'm completely 100% content with where I am, what I've created, and what I have the potential to create moving forward from this point too.
Paul asks, do you get recognized a lot by fans, and do you mind if they come up to you as long as they use common sense, i.e. not bother you when you're eating, etc.? Thanks.
Recognition happens pretty regular. Shout out to the guy at Guitar Center that worked there and fangirled really hard, which is fine. And I'm sorry I wasn't as chatty because I was very much in music mode, and the ADHD thing I mentioned earlier was very much in play. Like he was kind of telling me about my channel and how much it helped him, this and that. And I actually said, I really apologize. I'm listening and I appreciate it, but I'm so focused on guitars right now. I really can't I really can't wrap my mind around that. And he was like, no problem, no problem. And I felt really bad because as much as I tried to switch into like creator mode and be all happy and stuff, I was just like laser focused on why I was there. And anyone with ADHD knows you cannot just to something else that easily. But no, it's always humbling to remember like, hey, there's real human beings on the other side of these screen names, and it's fun to meet people and hear their stories and stuff. And then it's cool too because it often breaks a certain stereotype of like the average PC gamer, you know, and the neck beard basement dwelling, like those that don't do computers all think we're all, you know, fat neck bearded nerds, and that's not the case. It's really cool people out there, and I like meeting them. I'm looking forward to when events start up again, especially like LTX, and my daughter's really bugging me to bring her to VidCon. I don't know if I'm gonna, because that's not, I mean, to me that's all like Squeakerville, and I'm not into that crowd. I'm not a part of that crowd, but my daughter is a viewer of that crowd.
Wayne Reynolds says, I love water cooling, but here in India, you could build an entire rig and a half for the cost of a custom water cooling build alone. So my question is, where do you see the future of AIOs, and will it ever be better than, if not more on par with custom looping?
The problem with AIOs is just they're really built to be as cheap as possible. I don't know about India, but here in the United States, Asetek has a real stranglehold on the AIO industry, and it's really expensive to design one from the ground up, and it's really difficult to work around the type of patents that they have. So until we can see more brands really build a better design when it comes to the pumps, we're probably not gonna see things really start to progress or get any better. I don't see it getting better as long as companies like Asetek hold all of the patents. Like the circular shape is patented.
Bramomento asks, did you ever think you would be in the same place you are now, a popular YouTuber doing his dream job for a living?
No, so I was so ignorant to YouTube that it wasn't until I started my channel that I realized you could subscribe to people. But I didn't like put two and two together that, oh my gosh, having an account means I can upload videos. I was so just boomer about it. It's not even, and I worked in IT. It's kind of funny that I ended up not just uploading videos as a hobby, but it wasn't until probably, like I said, around the time I was able to have my wife quit her job through income I was making through YouTube that I realized like this could actually become a thing. But the real challenge became, like you said, keeping it a dream job Because as glamorous as this is, and I try to teach my daughter this all the time, this is still a business with real responsibilities and parts of it that suck. And when I say parts of it that suck, I'm talking about like corporate compliances and insurances and 401k setups for the company, and all the liability stuff, and covering my ass, covering my employees' ass, making sure I'm covered from my employees' ass. It's like there's just so much happening that takes all the fun out of it.
Zebra asks, how do you not just rage quit with some stuff people say, e.g. with the giveaway? I'd be pretty mad with everybody. I mean, you obviously were, but I'd honestly think about never doing one again. On the other hand, there are nice people too. I don't know. Thanks anyways.
Hold up. One, I can't, that's so unfair to blame everybody for the ads that are out there. Second of all, yes, I do rage quit. That's why you'll see me disappear from Twitter for a week at a time sometimes. But then, like I said, there's really cool people here. In this community, and those are the people that I'm here to serve. And I 1000% do keep a list of the people that act like dicks online and shadow ban them from giveaways. I let them enter in this and that. And it has happened once in the almost 10 years I've done this, where someone was just being a complete jerk online regarding the giveaway rules, and this isn't fair, and it should be this way, and you're a sellout, and yada, yada, yada. And that name was drawn, and I voided it, drew a new name, and then showed the screenshot of the void winner to him publicly. So he threatened to sue me and this and that, and nothing obviously happened, but it's just, I'm sorry, you don't get to be a jerk to me and then take something from me other than the free content that I provide. That's just my way of being able to at least give back something, and I'm not gonna let jerks ruin it forever, but I do take breaks because of those people.
All right. So let's do.
Are we gonna get to the weird ones now?
Yeah, let's do the lightning round.
Because these have all been like, these all have been like
really heavy, like
serious.
Real life. Yeah. Since this is a lightning round, we're probably gonna butcher all of your names, but whatever, it'll be funny. All right, James Mattias Pace asks, what do you hate about PCs, and what is your favorite boat? I like boats. My wife and I love your channel. It's both informative and entertaining.
Okay, so obviously I'll start with boats. I like battleships, and I have favorite ships from each.
Well, too bad. It's boat singular, so pick one.
The Missouri. I like the Iowa class, and the Missouri had the unconditional surrender signed on the deck. So that's an important ship. What I hate about computers? I don't hate anything about computers.
Jesse asks, chicken nuggets or chicken wings?
Chicken wings for sure. And actual wings, not legs, not drumsticks.
Yes, because we're not 7 years old. All right, Tela asks, what are some of your favorite tools, accessories for cable management? They're putting together this first series build, and they've been looking for efficient methods to manage
zip ties and
cables.
side cutters. That's it. I did a whole video about what tools you need and how to cable manage.
Kenshan Leung asks, what was your worst PC building accident?
Everyone's expecting me to say when I drilled through the motherboard. No, it's when I accidentally blew up my Pentium D. It was a first CPU I had bought with my own money. Back then, 12 volt for your PCI or AGP. Could sometimes be forced or slotted into the CPU power, which is just a 4-pin power plug at the time. And I blew it up by plugging that in and turning on the power supply and hitting the power button and literally hearing a little pop and then seeing one of the EEPROMs on there actually blister in the center. Like it popped out like that. So you know what I did? I sanded it down real flat. I put a little bit of Sharpie on it and took it back to PC Club and went, it's not working. And yes, they exchanged it for me. The CPU still worked.
Hi, Jay and Phil, if this gets added. Sorry, Nick. Sucks. I got my PC pre-built and I'm a total noob. Do I have to do any maintenance on the hardware? And if so, what do I do? By the way, good job with the guitar.
Any maintenance on the hardware?
Yeah. I
mean, clean it. Just keep the dust out of it.
Loki asks, have you thought about doing...
Wait, Loki?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like as in Loki?
Yeah. No, I don't think, I think this guy's a fake Loki.
Have you thought about doing any other model building besides ships? And if so, what have you considered getting into?
No, I mean, I used to build model cars. I built model planes. Not too many tanks. I started working on a tank during the pandemic, but I just really like doing models of the World War II era. World War II is my most intriguing part of history. I've spent the most time researching it. So I've just always been completely enthralled with that type of warfare, that type of period, and I just like any sort of vehicle from that era.
Free Jaffa 86 asks, would you ever consider doing a collaboration with Adam Savage from Mythbusters on a build?
A collaboration?
A collaboration.
I would absolutely do a collaboration with Adam Savage. Who wouldn't? I mean, I even bought a stacks of styrene so I can start working with some model building and creating things through that to use in our case mods and stuff by watching his tutorials on how to use styrene and the way he would take a concept drawing from an artist with Star Wars and then he had to build it out of nothing to start creating these models, and I who wouldn't want to build with him?
Thomas Jandeber asks, what is something Phil or Nick did that you'll never forget?
Okay, Nick one time formatted a card right as we were done filming. The creature of habit thing I mentioned, Nick was trying really hard to get into the habit of doing certain things, and one of the habits he had not developed was formatting a card. Like we would have like 3 or 4 videos on one card. So the way the order of operations of the SOP should be is film the video, ingest the video footage into your system, keep the footage on the card. Once the video is rendered and we can verify that backups are there and our footage is all ingested and safe, then we can format the card, have the card then basically in an inventory ready to be used again or put back into the camera. So I kept telling Nick, you've got to format the card, because there'd be times we'd go to film and then we'd start seeing the blinking light because that means the card's filling up, and I'm like, you got to format the card. So we spent literally hours working on a video and then he immediately formatted the card. And I was like, what the hell? And Phil actually recently did that. But Phil came up with a whole new SOP for himself to make sure that never happens again. We now have 2 cards in here that are redundantly filming.
It just said something that you'd never forget, but then you went immediately just straight to mistakes. I was wondering
They're
what you
pretty
would do.
memorable. Okay, fine. Our Christmas party, everyone got drunk. Nick decided to almost hit the ceiling with a bowling ball.
You gotta throw it higher next time.
Gregory Sable asks, do you...
Sick!
He made it two words in, did you?
Yeah. Gregory Sable asks, do you ever wake up and just not to want to make a video that day?
Not to want to?
Just not. Gregory Sable asks, do you ever wake up and just not want to make a video with that day due to stress or burnout? And do you ever feel like you miss working in IT?
I never miss working in IT. If you watch The Office, remember Nick, the IT guy? Yeah, that's how they treat you. You just get out, go away, IT guy, get out of here. No one likes you. Like, I mean, literally, that's how. I'm never going back to IT. Second of all, yes, absolutely. Just like anyone else with any other job, there's days you wake up and you go, I just don't want to. And I think people look at this job and go, oh my God, you're such a baby. There's no reason you should ever like not want to get up and go to work because you have a dream job. The company makes lots of money. You get to play with all this cool stuff, but that's the part of the iceberg that sticks up above the water that you guys see. You don't see the stress that's underneath it. And I'm fine. I know there's some of you right now even hearing that, they're going, oh, shut up, you still have a dream job. And it's like, and you don't have a perspective. You don't have the experience to understand what is holding up the glamour. And it's difficult. And days that I just don't feel like making any real content, we do videos like this one.
I think a lot of people forget that the word job is still in dream job. It's not just a dream, otherwise it would just be a dream. Jonathan Walls, this may seem stupid, but I'm always curious about this. Do you speak any other languages?
No, okay, so I used to...
Well, you speak Arnold.
That doesn't count as a language. No, I used to speak German fluently enough to communicate because my family's from, well, half my family's from Germany. My Oma lived with us. When she passed away, I didn't really speak German with anyone. My mom never spoke it because she's from Munich, and she never spoke it when growing up, so I didn't learn it through immersion like that, and so I just stopped having anyone to speak it with. I can still understand a lot of German. I just don't even try and pronounce things anymore.
World Tech PT asks, what is or was the most difficult part for you when you were building your channel? For me, it was to find content.
Yeah, consistency, honestly. So the first couple months of uploading to this channel, I uploaded 2 videos a week. And since then, like for the last 8 years, it's been 3 videos a week, like clockwork, sometimes 4, sometimes 5. And then last December, we challenged ourselves to do a video every single day of December, which we did, and didn't have to work a single weekend, which I'm proud of, and we still got to take the holiday days off.
Well, snap into a Slim Jim 125 asks, at JayzTwoCents, computers and technology aside, if you were to reach your end game / retirement, what would you do as goals?
Move, first of all. I have this retirement trip I want to take. Like when I'm retired, I want to have a toter home. If you guys don't know what a toter home, it's basically a half truck, half motor home, and then it tows a car trailer behind it, like an enclosed car trailer. I want to have like maybe 2 cars in there, and I want to take a United States track tour. I want to go to Road America. I want to go to Road Atlanta. I want to go to Coda. I want to go to Sonoma, Laguna. I want to go to Watkins Glen. I want to go to these amazing tracks, but while also along the way, seeing various sites and landmarks and stuff that I've never seen in the country that my wife and I can enjoy together.
Maybe that's why American Truck Simulator hooked you. It's like
every job to me, I was just pretending I was towing race cars.
Get to practice your retirement before you retire.
Aiden Kirkpatrick asks, what got you into the work that you do now, including Phil and Nick? Love your vids, by the way. Truly informational and inspiring.
My father was after he retired from the Navy, he was a software developer. He built his own computers and stuff, but by the time I was about 7 or 8, he hired me, like, obviously just like, here, kid, here's money for doing stuff for me, right? It wasn't a job, but it was like paid chores, if you will, an allowance. No, he started paying me to do maintenance on the systems in his office. Format this massive pile of 5 1/4 floppy drives or disks, and keeping the CRTs nice and clean and blowing the dust out of the back. And if a system needed new RAM or something like that, he had me swapping it out, and he had me dealing with just stuff like that. And so by the time I was 15, I was actually already working with him in software development and project management. I grew up with it, and obviously that's helped with what I do today.
So how did you get into the work?
Well, I ordered a computer one day, took a picture of it, posted on Facebook, hey, I finally got a gaming PC.
He ordered an iBuyPower.
Yeah.
And I was like, good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. And I finally got my computer, and he's like, oh, that's nothing. And then he sends me pics of his.
No,
like,
I didn't say that's nothing.
Hold on.
It's not much, but it's mine.
Yeah.
It was the original, it's not much.
And then I get like a whole album of photos from his rig. I'm like, whoa.
It was the white AMD build, right?
Yeah. It's like, dude, that is so cool. And then it just took off from there. I kind of just started hanging out more.
And then he said, hey, you want to do stuff for money?
Yeah, I want to do stuff for money.
Well, Nick has a degree in business management and photography, so I was like, maybe that'll work here. And then Nick left for a while and worked in the automotive industry, and now we're graced with his presence again.
And then
we all love Nick. Shout out. We love Nick.
And as for me, my friends had a Spanish video project, and I said, you know what's dope, Freddie W? Let's do a gunfight in this thing. It'll be sick. And then I taught myself VFX.
You duff for buffing.
What?
It says you duff for.
Okay, I thought.
Dude, look at the ad. It's so.
How do you remember that?
Where do you dump all your GPUs? We know that all your GPUs aren't sponsored. You buy many of them. So what do you do to them?
Put them on a shelf with the rest? I don't know. Do you know how cool it is to say I've got over 200 GPUs?
It's not much, but it's mine.
It's not much, but it's mine.
All right, that's cool. But Lucas Protect asks, I've watched you for a while now, and I love your videos. I just wanted to know, for one, what is your favorite song to date?
My favorite song to date? Oh man, this is gonna be so stereotypical. Especially when you guys realize that whole like playlist that gets white people going, and I knew the words to every song. My favorite song to date is still the Wallflowers One Headlight. I don't know why, it just stuck. And it's my high school. It was high school was a rough time, like I think it's for most people. I have a lot of happy memories from high school, and I hear that song and it takes me back to 1998.
Crucial Memory asks, do you ever bother with...
Crucial?
Yeah,
like the actual Crucial Memory account?
Crucial Memory.
With a check mark.
With a check mark. Do you ever bother with updating BIOS? Or if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
Interesting question to have from an official memory manufacturing account. I hope they account for updated BIOS and stuff, but...
Well, RAM doesn't have BIOS, does it?
No, but BIOS, I think they're asking because RAM stability and support is directly related to BIOS, but no, I'm very much of the if it ain't broke, don't fix it. However, we update BIOS all the time around here because a lot of the motherboards and stuff that we get are very, very early and sometimes even pre-release BIOS. If I start getting weird like shutdowns or I start getting weird USB connects and disconnects or whatever, then I almost always will go to a BIOS update.
So would you say our strategy is it ain't broke, don't fix it, but sometimes it's pretty broke, so we do fix it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, that was it for the lightning round, dude. We don't have any more questions. That was
Thank God.
pretty crazy. Thank God.
No, only because these were like all over the place. I felt like, you know those little paddle ball, like the ball in the, like I felt like one of those right now. It was just like the questions over there, and the questions over there, and the questions over there. Just like
that's why I tried to put the
I feel like a cat with a laser pointer.